St. Andrew's friends, we are in our final sermon of our Fine Young Ministers 2020 edition. It's the season finale this morning with Kassandra Matthews. And Cass is one of our own. She served at, she was a parishioner at St. Andrew's, one of our congregation for a long time, and served on our ministry team as worship coordinator for 2 years. She is just going into her third year as a student at the Atlantic School of Theology out in Halifax, although she still lives here in Niagara Falls. She is in an ongoing placement as a student minister at Trinity United Church in Beamsville, and it is our extreme pleasure and joy to have Kassandra share the pulpit with us this morning. And so I'm just going to switch my views here so that you can see. There we go. Hello and welcome, Cass.
Thank
so
you.
Great to have you here today.
Likewise, it's really great to be with you.
Well, we are so pleased that you're going to be sharing with us. And while many people among us do know who you are and have had a chance to get to know you over the years, there will be some who are chiming in who don't know you, and some who are chiming in online who are have become a part of our online congregation. So just a few questions so that we can have a bit of a sense of who you are as a person before you share with us from God's Word this morning. So question number one, as a student, I'm sure you are reading lots of things that are theology and ministry based, and maybe that's what you'll share with us. But what's on your bedside table right now? What are you reading these days?
Yeah, so for the summer, I've done so much reading, so much academic reading in my 6-year intensive, but it's nice to finally have a chance to read for leisure. So literally, I just pulled off my bedside table, Margaret Atwood Testaments. Yeah, so I'm partway in, and I'm going to be on vacation actually when this airs for a few days up in Campbellville. So I'll be getting a lot of this lakeside. But I also have, for when that's done, I don't know if you can see. Yep. Thank God for Evolution, Michael Dowd. Really interesting. So it piqued my interest because it's, he really, from my understanding, finds that, science and faith are in no way at odds, and he does a really thorough job marrying them, and it's really well acclaimed. And I'm really interested in I guess seeing the in a deeper way the beauty of creation and God's hand, and I guess I embrace science, especially in this time of COVID, so it'll be really interesting to see how these are sort of married in this book.
Sounds great. Good. Okay, well, that'll keep you thinking and busy. Reading time, listening time. What's on your music playlist these days? I know you loved to be a part of worship when we were at St. Andrew's together, but what's in your ears these days? So
the honest truth is my playlist is called Taught Tunes, and I have a constant steady stream of The Wiggles and Sesame Street and all kinds of wonderful children's music, including Sharon Lois and Bram, for those who will remember that. For myself, very seldom do I actually put on very much music anymore, because silence is music to my ears. And so the bird song outside is what stirs my soul and helps me to relax. But just a funny tidbit, when I saw this question, I laughed because there's a song that I use to get myself going in the morning, and it's Walking on Broken Glass by Annie Lennox.
Okay, yeah. On.
It's just got such a great tempo, so that's the truth. So
there we go.
But my go-to always for worship is Audrey Assad. Lyrically and vocally, she just has such a way that that really tunes my heart to the Spirit.
Yeah, for sure. She's a favorite of ours as well. So cool. We are at a strange place in the pandemic. We've been in it for a long time. We, as a province, are trying to move out of it, but it is, one step forward, 2 steps back, trying to figure out what life looks like, what the new normal is. In terms of COVID. What have you missed most during the pandemic?
So, well, on a practical note, the summer would have been spent as a family headed out to Halifax,
Mhm.
where I would be doing summer intensive studies. So that was part of our plans. So of course that didn't happen. We were looking forward to that. And of course with COVID, we had daycare come to an end, which really became a challenge balancing ministry and motherhood and the demands of serving the congregation and supporting their needs, which grew but also became more difficult to address and support with distance, and care for a little guy who's busy and needs constant care. So we were pulled in a lot of different directions, but I guess I wouldn't have changed anything, because I felt I was speaking with a friend recently who said COVID sort of has taken some purpose away from this person's life, and I feel like I could share some purpose. I've got purpose to spare right now. If you want to come over for an hour, I'll share some purpose with you. you can borrow. So, I mean, I guess I feel full and fulfilled in that way. But definitely COVID has been a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is there, so COVID's been a challenge. Is there something that's been a positive experience about COVID for you? A learning or
Very much so. I mean, before COVID, I actually said to my husband Dan recently, I don't know how we were ever out of the house 5+ days, nights a week. Something that has become really important to us, that we'd like to keep, is family dinner time. And just all this family time that we've had has absolutely been the silver lining. Also, I mentioned that we were to head out to Halifax, but since we didn't, we planted a garden, and we've just had such a beautiful crop of tomatoes and lettuce and onion. And so, that's been really, that's been a place of peace for me as well, to be out in the garden. So we're eating all this delicious food and we're together. So that's been really, really special.
That's great. That is great. Yeah, I think the trick for us as people will be to grieve the things of COVID that we lost, but also pick up the things that we've learned and the things that God has for us in this time, as well as we continue to move forward. There's a sense of rebuilding our lives as opposed to just reopening our lives or reverting to what was previously. So. Well, thank you for giving us a little bit of insight into who you are and your life these days. Actually, your life is very different than it was when you were worshiping with us on a Sunday morning. So, and we look forward to hearing what you would share with us from God's Word this morning at sermon time. So, thank you, and God bless you. And may your time away next week with your, I think, with some friends, I pray that it would just be restorative and rich for you. So
Thank you.
Thanks. God bless, friend.
Okay.
See you soon.